Mhm. Well, hello, friends. Today we're going to have an interesting new spread, and I have started to do the illustrations as you can see on the screen. And this is just a screenshot which I am using to read what is happening on this page, and then we will go to the actual Photoshop image and do the artwork. So if you're just tuning in to listen in or follow along with the illustrations, I'm welcoming you, and I hope you'll enjoy this, and we'll do this, and I have another one ready to go. I hope I will get that done today too. So let's go. So here is the screenshot, as I said, and Abby and Amos are tuning in to Zoom school, and the teacher is there. And as you can see on the screen, she's teaching them about what fruits grow in June. And the wording on this page is Abby started to feel hopeful again, even though things were still not the way they were before. Months and months went by. Sometimes they could go out. Sometimes they had to lock down again. Holidays, family dinners with relatives, and birthday parties were often canceled. Sometimes Abby and Amos got to go to school. Sometimes everyone joined the teacher for classes on Zoom, and that's what this page is about. So we're going to now close that, and here we are in the original Photoshop file, and as you see, this space is white or light colored so that the wording will show up in the final InDesign file. So here we are, and I am going to bring this up a little bit so that you can see. And as you can see, Abby has raised her hand uh, to as the teacher is talking, and she wants to answer the question, but it's a Zoom call, and I'm not sure whether they can hear each other. Well, she can hear the teacher, but I'm not sure that she can hear Abby. But of course, with a Zoom, that would be possible. All the other students are there too. So perhaps she can see Abby raising her hand and answering her question. So now we're going to start the illustration process, and I have the sketch of the teacher done, and I'm just going to go and pick up and she's holding a strawberry because that is one of the wonderful berries that uh, grow in June. So I'm just going to pick up some of that red color from the strawberry, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and then I'm going to test this out, and I think I'll reduce the opacity there, and flow is at 100. I kind of like that, and we're going to just we're working on the layer below the sketch because then we can see what we're doing, and we're also not going to get rid of this sketch. We may at some point, it's a work in progress, and I may just do more work as we go along. So well, yeah, that's it. And now, you know how the pictures sometimes are cut out, and this is a cutout picture. So I am going to, you won't see it, but I am going to give this a white edge around the picture, and then we can figure that out. later if we need to. Okay, so now I think we need a little bit of green, and here's some green, and we'll just color these leaves here. There, very good. So now, let's see, what color should we make the teacher's outfit? Um, well, why don't we make it uh, a combination of what would be a good color? Ah, maybe the blueberries there. I think perhaps a little here, a little lavender. Okay, so yes, I've got this. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I think I'll get a larger brush here. This is great because you get to hear what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And, you know, sometimes I think I'll bring that down a little bit more. Sometimes I just talk, and sometimes I hum, and sometimes I sing a little song or so. And we're just going to see what happens today, aren't we? This is fun. I hope you're doing some artwork too, whether it's on with a brush and real paints and paper, or whether it's on Photoshop or some art program. Doing art is wonderful. It's very good for you. You know, time just passes. You know, they say, and it does pass for me. I just enjoy writing and doing these things. And they say that if you do some artwork, that the time can go very quickly. And if you, I hope you're not feeling any pain, but if someone is, then doing some artwork actually uh, takes in a different part of yourself. And once you get into it, you probably don't feel any pain anymore. I know, like, I hardly know the time is going by when I am doing this artwork. I get so involved, and we want this to look a little painterly here. So that's why I like to reduce the opacity of the brush, because it doesn't all go in one color or one shade. It like if it was let me show you. If it was 100%, it would be, the color would be dark like that. And sometimes we want that. That's okay, to give us a little bit of great. But there are times we want it to be the same color but lighter. So we go reduce the opacity, and see, I didn't change the color. It's like that. And when I go over something that have colored before, if it's not the full opacity, 100%, it will give it a little bit more of a painterly effect. And one of my favorite brushes, this is what I'm using, is um, the classic cartoonist in Kyle's ink box. And I just like it a lot. You could do so many things with it. Okay, so now I think we need a little more definition here. Well, maybe we'll do the pants. So let's go and pick up a deeper color here. Mm, okay. So as you can see, the teacher is sitting at the front of the Zoom class, and she is in front of a whiteboard. Did you know that that schools are trying to go to whiteboards more than they are chalkboards now? I didn't know that, but I guess it's uh, not a bad idea. So I thought I started out to draw a blackboard, and then I thought, well, no, I'm going to use a whiteboard. And as you see, I've already put those the fruits that grow in June: strawberries. We love strawberries, raspberries, cherries, apricots, peaches, and plums. Oh, good. And I guess it depends on where you are as to how soon they grow in June. Okay, so that's good. We'll leave the blouse a little bit, and we will maybe I'll just give a little bit of depth around the strawberry cutout here. And then that's probably a little too dark. So we'll just go back and do it again. Yeah, that's better. It's not so stark. I will just turn up the opacity there. Good. Now, let's, she's sitting on some kind of a bench. We better just do that while we're thinking of it. And there, so it's a little bit of a black bench. Great. So let's see. We need to uh, do her. Shall we do her hair or her face or her hands first? Let's see. Uh, well, let's do her hair. So let's pick a nice color of hair. A nice dark color with a little warmth. Okay, and we'll take and I think I'll reduce the size of the brush just a wee bit, and or you know what, maybe I will do a larger brush for the base layer, and then we can go in later and do some work on top, make another layer. So let's just see how this works here. It's just a work in progress. And there's no right or wrong. Like when you're doing your artwork, it's how you want your artwork to look. Or if you're just listening, it's okay, because I'm here to create some sound that you might listen to while you're doing something else, and that's just fine. So I think I will take that right down and give it a little more, bring it out more. The hair, I should tell you what I'm doing. Uh,
No, I'm not sure. Where is the light coming from in this? I think maybe we'll have the light coming from this side. So that means I have to give this side a little more shadow. I'm glad you're friends, because, uh, I just feel like sometimes I'd be a little nervous doing this, but, I thought before I started, I thought, well, I'm just talking to friends, right? So why be nervous? Took me quite a long time to decide to do things on YouTube, you know, have people watch exactly what I do. That's not necessarily that easy because, it just, but anyway, here I am doing it and I'm finding that I actually like it. So we're all friends here, and if I muff up, you're going to forgive me, right? Okay, so now, nope, I think we need a little warmer. Look here. Let's see, what does that look like? Yes, okay, that's that. I like doing faces. And I probably said that before, but half of my work is retouching because I have spent a lifetime of retouching photographs. That was photography was my career. And now art is my career, and I'm just using some of these skills that I used before. Because as I say, doing artwork it's just a wonderful, wonderful pastime. You can forget all about what's happening. So I find that it's probably best to go just so far and leave it and then go back later so that I don't
So let's do some of the hand here. Arm and hand. Oftentimes when I am singing, it's because I am thinking what to do, where to put the brush next. Okay, so and sometimes I just hum and sing for the fun of it. Yeah, clear my throat here. I do have a glass of water in case I need one right here beside me, but I'll just wait a bit. Uh, When I was in school, I always liked to see what the teacher was wearing. They have really lovely clothes, and so I thought I would make a nice gold bracelet for this teacher. There. Yeah, nice gold. Lovely. I think a little more depth here. We can wonder, who, if she bought this bracelet herself or someone special bought it for her. We can always surmise. Moment. Give it a wee bit of highlight. A sparkle there. Great. I bet you some person that loves her bought her that bracelet. What do you think? I'd like to think that. Yeah, there. I hope that looks like a gold bracelet. We can always do some touch up later. Okay, now, what are we doing now? Okay, so let's just go back to the hand and put down a wee bit and adjust things. Mm, 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 mm.
Da 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 da. Mm, do 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 do. Mm. Now, I have gone over the lines just a wee bit here, so let's just erase. Isn't that great? You can erase. Well, you can in other art forms too, but it's so easy in Photoshop. So how does that look? Well, that's getting there. Okay, now let's do her other hand and see. I think cancel that. I have to pick up some of the color here. That's a little okay. That sounds good. Well, it looks good. Colors have sound too, perhaps. Yeah. Okay, so the brush. There we are. Mm,
There's no place like home, mid pleasures and palaces. There's no place like home. Well, I don't know. That is looking quite. I think maybe I have the wrong color under there, but we will just see. And maybe I need to change the sketch just a wee bit. Just erase. Ah, and we'll go and get some. This time I am going to use Kyle's Ultimate Inking, thick and thin. That's what I have used to do the sketch in. Well, it started off as a pencil, but this is like uh, the equivalent of a pencil, let's put it that way. And then I went to the inking because I want the inking lines and the sketch lines to show up in the final artwork. Okay, and I find that 15 is, nope, haven't quite got the right thick and thin. I gotta take it down to 15. Okay, and I need the same black for the sketch, and I think maybe I'll take it down to 12. Okay, that's still too wide. Okay, here we go. Let's try 10. We want it just to be thin. So we go back over here and yeah, kind of lost our place. Ah, trial and error, trial and error. Let's do just a wee bit more. I used to work for a as a retouch artist for a photographer, and lots of times I would. He was really a brilliant artist, and it's not looking good. And he would want something done on a portrait, and then I would do that, and he'd say a little bit more, and then he would say, in between the two, and it was practically imperceptible, but in between the two. And I got used to realizing that sometimes it is in between the two. Okay, and I'm just going to give this a shadow of in the sketch area as some depth behind. Okay. Now we can go back to the base layer underneath and we can, I think it would be easier if we just erase the part looks that's not really good there and start again. Okay. So, okay. Oh, I'm still in the eraser. Go back and I'll change brushes. Classic cartoon. Uh, well, I think that's probably a good width there, but I need to reduce the opacity. And away we go. I see something else here. Well, I'll just do one more little bit. There's, like you can, sometimes I do some prep work and I mean, you can go on and on and on. It's getting, well, and that's good, I guess. Okay, let's see. Um, oh, okay, now I'm just going to go back up to the sketch or, yeah, and I'll just, yeah, drag down, get some more black. Okay, and I think I want, you know, this nail over the over top of the cutout of the strawberry. Yeah, how's that? Okay, so there we go, back to the base layer, and there is a little bit of the strawberry is running into the white, so I'll just fix that right now, and that will be good. Okay. Actually, I think I'd like a little more depth in behind. Oops, eraser. I do that all of the time. Go from, okay, I got to get out of the eraser into the brush and sort of like here, coming along. The teacher took a lot of time creating this strawberry cutout, so we'd better do it justice, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, now a little bit more of the green, and then there. Okay, let's have a look now. Take it back a bit and see how we are doing. Well, that is definitely coming along. Yes. I didn't think of this at the time, but I wonder if she needs a gold necklace to go with her. We'll do that on the upper layer so that I don't disturb the color. Okay, so I think we've got to go and do a little more work underneath here with the Okay, lavender. What kind of fabric do you think this is? I think it's a, a lovely fabric, flowing. It's not really see-through, sort of like a crepey fabric. I don't think I want to, instead of adding the white later to give it some oomph, it's got looking good uh, in a way with leaving some of the areas of the blouse with the white showing behind. It gives it maybe a little sheen. Let's see. Okay, now I need. Mm, Okay. Well, we're getting there. I think now we need to give some more definition to the face because she does not have a see-through face, and we need we need to add some color. And so we're still in the base layer here, so I'm going to, okay, I can just give this a little more. And make the brush a little smaller. Oops, no. It's good. Get the brush back. Might help if I bring things up a little wee bit so I can see. Okay, now let's see. Let's see. Sometimes you just have to lay in some color and see where you're going and refine as you go. Okay? Also, one of the secrets to doing faces is in the retouching mode is that, you kind of, uh, you take your brush and you pretend you're feeling their face. And that helps uh, make things round and give it a contour and make it a little more lifelike. Yeah. And instead of doing one area and finishing it, and just do several areas and keep going back so that you can get a basic idea. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. And I need a nice light tone here. Warm and light. Okay. There are all kinds of colors in people's faces. Did you know that? Yeah, all kinds of colors. The trick is to make all the colors look like there's not a lot of colors. Smooth. Well, boop, 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 boop. I don't know if the microphone could pick up that last little bit I did, but it's just me doing something. So let's see. Okay, now. um, Okay, let's take this back and see. It's getting there. It's getting there little bit by little bit. The base layer. So I think that we're ready to go from the base layer to a top layer, but still underneath the sketch. Yeah. Okay. So this will give us more definition, I hope. Well, I know it will. I'm just just goofing around, that's all. Eyes are the windows of the soul. And this teacher has a great, wonderful soul. You know, most teachers do, right? Because they're helpful. They really want to impart wisdom to their students. So we've got to make these eyes lovely. It may take a couple of tries. Who knows? Okay, now oops, we lost the spot. There we are. Okay, now the light is. We'll just better label this layer. Middle layer teacher. Okay. Now, how are we going? Why isn't it doing? Well, sometimes you just have to play with the brush and the color. It's there. It should, you know. I think we need to go up to there. Well, we need to highlight in the sketch area because it's getting there. Okay, now. um, So I'm just going to stay on the sketch layer and give some sparkle into the eyes there. Let's have a little sparkle. Great. Yeah. You know, it's surprising how a little bit of sparkle can bring something to life, even though you don't consciously see it in the, perhaps in the final. It's just sort of there and it's not there. But it makes a difference. And now I'm working on the top layer. So in some ways I am working over some of the sketch. That's getting there. Now let's see, what do we need? I think one eye is a little larger. then the other, and I think, well, I will. Did I make her cross-eyed? Let's hope not. Well, we can always fix. Eyes are, if you get them right, they can be really a wonderful expressive thing. Okay, this is now. I have her looking. She's looking. You know, she's looking in Amos's direction. She's not looking at Abby. But of course, how do we know who she's looking at in the zoom? She could be looking at somebody else. But rather than try to make the eyes look in a different place, I think that will just keep it there and there. How are we doing for time? Probably we have. I always think, oh, this is only going to take just a little time. And then I look and oh my goodness, all that time went by. Yeah. Okay, so there, I think we'll go back down to the middle and the middle layer and pick up some of this color and change brushes and classic cartoonist again, and I don't think that worked. Let's just, this is where you can go back and then you can go compare it and you can decide to keep going or go back and start again. So I think we'll go back and start again and get a little smaller brush and it's nice to have some of that. It's a little watercolorish where you're leaving some of the highlight as the paper instead of taking the white as in at the last stage as in an oil painting. So and sometimes it's a combination of the two. Oops, too dark. Well, I guess she has a little bit of a questioning look in her face, doesn't she? She's raised her hand and she wants an answer. Well, let's just give this a little more oomph here. And doodly doo 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 doodly doo doo doo. That's not doing anything. Okay. A little more opacity. And so we can see that. Okay. Yeah, that did something. Okay. Now, okay. And a little more definition here. Give her just a little more of a smile. Let's see. Ah, coming to life, coming to life. Okay, so, uh, I don't want to do too much that might wreck it. So let's just do a little bit more on the hair. Um, it's too red. Too orange, maybe, or maybe not. This side, we can do whatever we want, right? There's a light over there. It's got a little orange tone to it, I think. So I think that'll work. You need some dimension. Okay. And I think I have an idea. I just need a little bit more. Okay. Changing brushes. And we want just a very softness. So let's see. Just give her a little warmth in her face. I think I'll take this color. Yeah, and oh, that's okay. Let's see. No, too dark. Okay, over here. Yeah, I just need a little more warmth in the face. That's a little too much. Yeah. I love doing this in Photoshop because in actual fact, you can go back like that and change things. Whereas, when I was working on photographs, if you make a mistake, the whole photograph is ruined, right? And you don't want to do that. Not too often, anyway. Okay, I think uh, I'll have a look. I don't want to go too far and then go too far. But we did say that she needed a nice necklace to match her bracelet, didn't we? Okay, so let's see what we can do. I think we'll go up to the sketch level and we'll go and we'll get some gold and we'll see what we can do. Okay, so, okay, that's good. Now, brush, we'll bring it full up so that it's nice and dark. And then what brush are we going to use? Yes, we're going to go back over to the thick and thin. Yeah. Okay. And I think we'll make it go all around. Oops, I see some. um, I went over the lines over here. So I'll just a smaller brush and no, there. Yeah, I did used to do oil colored photographs. That was something that before color photography came in, that was quite an art form. And you did a mixture of applying oils and then wiping them off with cotton. And it was rather interesting. I enjoyed doing that. That's a whole process in itself. Now, so we'll go back up to the sketch layer, which is our top layer, and we're going to go back to this color here and give a little bit more. So now I think we need some brighter. We'll see. Now I think we need to go to a very small brush and put in some shadow. So a little bit of the sketch, right? And then we can put in some highlights. Isn't she beautiful? Too dark, too dark. Okay. Not dark enough. Yeah. Isn't she beautiful? I don't think I've got the right tune for that song, but hey, it's okay. I'm not a soloist. I guess you know that by now. I just hum and carry along. So we're almost done here, folks. Uh, we just need a few little minor touches up. So we'll go back up to this layer. I'll make sure I have the right brush and uh, huh, and the right size of a brush. And away we go. To give this gold necklace some sparkle. After all, what's a gold necklace that doesn't sparkle, huh? Okay, let's see. Have we got enough sparkle on the bracelet? I think maybe let's just try a little bit more of this color here. And okay, and now we'll go back and get some of that sparkle color. And that's what I mean about touching up. There, a little more. That's got it. Okay, so now I'm wondering if I need to do, I know, I need to do a little more with the eyes, just a little bit of a sparkle in the white to give it that little bit of, oh, let's see. Yeah, that's got a little more light and a little more sparkle on her lip here. Highlights. Oh, yes, we forgot the earring. How could we do that? Oh, gracious. Of course she'd have earrings. There we go. Yes. Now let's look at the whole picture and see what's missing. Of course, when you see the picture up close, she is on the TV screen. Uh, but maybe, what else does she need? Maybe a little more sparkle on the light side of her face. And then we'll call it a wrap, folks. We'll call it a wrap. Just a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. I think that's not the right color for the face sparkle. It was great for the jewelry sparkle, but Okay, now let's look at that from a distance. Yeah, that's looking better from a distance. Okay, so I think I will just blend it in just a wee bit so that it doesn't look too garish. Okay. There. Okay. I think we've got it. I would like to get to the other edit, which today. So maybe we need to call this a wrap, folks. Okay, so, oh, I have to save it. Yes, there, save this. Okay, and uh, Amos is looking quite happy. Yeah, he's a very active little boy, and he loves this little rabbit there. He takes that to Zoom school. And Abby is asking a question or answering a question. Let's see. She has an idea. So we're just going to save this, and that's good. And that's a wrap, folks. I think that's good. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoy this. I really enjoyed doing this for you. And I hope you'll let me know and in the comments. And if you like it, subscribe and share and tell your friends. And then I can do more. Okay, I have an idea. As soon as I finish Abby, I have an idea for another story. I think you're going to love it. Just you wait and see. Well, here we go. La 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 la.